I an influencer? I mean, look at my hat. I might as well be, right? Hey, hi, hello, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, we welcome you with open arms. I haven't done that in a minute. Yesterday, I posted about how on Sunday, my no makeup look was looking kind of good. Like, look at these pictures. Like, are you gonna, you can't tell me, period. So, one of the first things that I do, I guess I'm just gonna hop into this because I've never done a video like this before, is I'm going to put the primer on the places I feel like I need coverage. So not everywhere on your face is gonna need the exact same amount of everything. It's probably gonna be different in different areas, just with your own better judgment and the way that you know your own skin. That line. I would say just kind of go for what you're most comfortable with. I'm putting it under my eyebrows because the first thing that I do with this super natural look, well, one of the first things is I carve out the underneath, like the under part of my eyebrow, and I try to make sure that both of the eyebrows are as even as possible. Usually I have my eyebrows, like the tips, shaved off. That's something new that I've done. I take a little mix of my concealer and my foundation. Depending on the day, I will put down concealer first, just on these little areas that I have going on, but I feel like it doesn't necessarily matter, so I'm not gonna do that here. But I just take this little brush. This is a Morphe brush that my sister got me for Christmas, and because of the way this applicator is for my concealer, it's like you twist it and it like pops up at the top. I use this brush to just kind of collect the product that's on it. That way I can just kind of put it on the back of my hand, and I try to get a fair amount so that I'm not just going back in and trying to remix and trying to get the exact same shade as before. And I feel like the system works well for me. I got a fair amount of concealer on the back of my hand. Now we go in with the Fenty. Ooh, I think that's a little too much, but also I feel like my skin tone kind of changes on a daily basis. So just like that, you can just mix everything together as much as you want. I think I added too much foundation, but it's fine. And as you saw, I brushed my eyebrows so that they're just kind of up. I just kind of, let me see if I can actually get this right. And I'm covering up a part of my eyebrow just because I don't want my brow to go down too far, because when you do it further up, it kind of lifts your face. And I think that's kind of too dark, but also you can blend it in, and then it's like it was never there. So you don't really have to put anything on your eyelid, because that just kind of adds more creasing to the whole entire situation, and I feel like it makes it look a little bit messier, even though I'm wearing glasses and it doesn't really matter. With me, my eyebrows are very much distant cousins, so I have to do like the whole drawing a line. That was too much. Drawing a line and going from there and trying to match my eyebrows, which is very much a feat, and it should be a part of the Olympics because this is so hard for me. It takes so much concentration for me to be able to do this. And then I blend out like this whole middle part, and then you blend out the underneath part, make sure you have everything how you want it. I know I kind of went a little far down with this, but you blend it out like that. And let me zoom you out. And you can't even really tell that anything's going on here. You just see that it looks a little bit fuller, but really it's just the concealer doing its job. Step 1 complete. And then you just go around with the little mix that you made and you just blend it. And if you need to, you can go back over it with more concealer or more foundation depending on the coverage you want and the color you want. I know that I made mine a little bit. So I'm just gonna do that. And the thing is with this concealer that I have, if you leave it, it's in such a way that it get it's kind of like what Jackie Aina does, how she leaves her concealer for a while so that it can sit in the skin and just do what it needs to do. I really hope this is helpful for somebody. And I forgot to put it over my lip. I have always had a darker upper lip and it's always bothered me. It's been one of the banes of my existence. So I'm gonna put some primer there. And I obviously didn't make enough of the mixture, but also different parts of your face have different colors, so you can just do what you need to do where you need to do it and then move on from there. Sometimes I like for what's underneath my eye to be a little bit brighter than everything else, just so that it does kind of still have that concealer effect. And like, just look at that. Like, look at how tired, exhausted, student this eye is, and then this eye is a lot better. I look more awake. And you can't tell that I only had 2 hours of sleep and woke up at 4:50 for a 3-hour shift. And if I'm having a day where my makeup, I did it too light, I just go over it with more foundation. And if you are lucky enough to get a foundation that is actually your shade, something like this should happen. And it should mix right in. It gets really dark. And I bring that concealer just right up to my lips because I don't want a weird line just kind of being there, chilling there. Sometimes appears a little bit tricky, but I'm working on it. And as updates come, I will let you know. I know that sometimes it's harder to find everyday makeup looks that look kind of like this for people of my complexion. And when I go in with the excess foundation, I just kind of pat it. That way it's not too much. And see, look at that. Disappearing before our very eyes. And you can kind of pat and like pull a little bit so that it's mixing out. And when I do over top of my lip, this is something that I didn't really do with concealer as I was trying to figure out all my stuff, is bring it up to your nose and up around this area so that it kind of blends out. Like, I'll show you with the next part of this video, but it's just it's important so that you don't look 10 types of crazy. And then once I started bringing it up, I was like, wow, I am truly the dumbest girl in the land. So I use the Tame and Frame. I still use this from NYX. I love NYX. Why am I can't look like that. My forehead on 10 at all times of the day. So you can tell that this has been well loved. I've had it for a few months. And I just kind of go in so that I can do little hair strokes and add the back of my brow. And it's okay if it gets a little bit messed up, because you can, what we're gonna do with some of the excess that's on the back of our hand, I don't know if I mentioned that before, but there's still some there, is we're gonna like carve it out as we go a little bit. Oh, by the way, I'm using my It's My Ray Ray palette, the one that I don't think is available anymore. And I'm using just the contour shade. So I guess really what I'm saying is you can use your contour shade to help you fill in your brows if you want something a little bit lighter. Because it still does give good color. I feel like it helps lighten up the black a little bit. So if that helps you, that helps you. If it doesn't, then don't listen to me. Don't do it. Also, there might be some extra product on the brush that's left over, so you can use that too. Yep, there she is. There she is. And I just kind of carved that out, and you can blend it upwards, blend it outwards, and it's like nothing ever happened. Look at that. Look at that. Look at it. So I feel like you can still be pretty messy with your eyebrows as you're doing them, because you can always go back and kind of fix them. And then I put a little bit of eyeliner just on the outside, because I don't put mascara on my bottom lashes when I'm just doing this. You could if you want to, but that's not what I do, so that's not what's gonna be in here. We going in with this milk. What the heck is lactose and top? We gonna ignore that joke. So this is the milk. My battery is dying. We just gonna put this up here like this, and if it's a little chunky in some areas, you know what I do? I go woo, and I pull it a little bit. Not like, cause like what? Who are you, and what mental facility did you escape from if you yank your eyelashes like that? And we go woo, and we might go back with another layer on both eyes. If my battery dies, wait. It shouldn't die before I finish this. This battery's dying too. It was just charged. Okay, so I do that, and then I put some blush. I don't have any blush, so I'm using my Makeup Shack palette, and I'm going in with one of I'm going in with the very center shade. Girl, listen. And I just add blush because I feel like it brings color back to the face a little bit. This is too much, but you can always. I'm ready to beat somebody's butt. My batteries do not last as long as they used to, and I'm very upset about that. I just kind of put on some blush. If it goes a little too high, I put some more of the little concealer and foundation mix up there. I didn't wear blush for the longest time, and then I started wearing it, and I was like, oh, so this is what it looks like to look alive. I put it on my cheeks, I put it on my nose. Depending on the day, it either goes up here or down here. I'm saying down here today just because I know I'm going to be wearing my glasses a lot. And I've heard that putting it on your chin and your forehead helps bring color just like back to the rest of your face too. So we finna do that, okay? We finna do that. We finna look alive. And if it's too intense, just kind of go over it with your fingers. Ooh. And then I'll add this Just a Tint from ColourPop. This is Chimichanga. I just kind of put a little bit on and go like that. It looks really odd on me when it's just by itself, I feel like. So I'm gonna go in with my ColourPop. The words are no longer, but this is princess cut. You can see that on the back there. I'm so sorry that I had to switch to my phone camera. That is a mess. And then I'm gonna use this Eco Tools brush. I think this is what came with my first brush kit that I got from Ulta when I was with my sister. So you can find this, I think, anywhere. So I'm just going over the spots that I know that I put foundation and concealer over. And I'm just kind of, so that it stays. And I know with this powder, it kind of, because of how much lighter than my skin tone it is, it brightens up this whole middle part. Either that or it makes me look ashy. I do not know. So if I look ashy, let me know, but also don't, because I might cry. I know there's a trick that I've used with my eyebrows, because I know that sometimes when you do your eyebrows, it gets oily because the day happens and your skin happens. And I have done it where I powder my eyebrows before I do anything with them. I powder them and then I brush off a whole bunch of excess and then I go from there. And I think it works pretty well. I don't know if I can really tell too much of a difference, but it seems like it keeps them from being as greasy, if any, like oils at all, or just, that did not make sense. I feel like it helps, at least a little bit. And if you are a glasses wearer, I feel like I should have said this at the beginning. If you wear glasses, then I do not recommend putting makeup on your nose or on the bridge of your nose or where your glasses sit, especially if you know that your glasses don't stay put, because that whole powder before foundation, like that whole putting on your primer, putting down powder, and then putting down foundation only works so much. And I've come to realize this. I was wondering, why is this not working for me? What is going on? All these beauty gurus don't have glasses. So I feel like that's just a very important thing to know. If you know you're going to be wearing your glasses during the day and you're going to be wearing them a lot, then I would recommend that you do not put foundation on your nose, or at least not on the bridge, not a lot. If you are going to put the foundation, make sure it's as close to your skin tone as possible. That way the little patches that your nose pads leave aren't as noticeable. I feel like that's helped a little bit. I still haven't completely cracked the code on that, but yeah, I feel like that's just helpful. And I think I'm done. From there, you can kind of remix this yourself. You can contour if you really want to. You can add more blush, you can take away blush, you can wear lashes, you can do a lot, because this is a very kind of buildable look, you know? Look. And I think that's pretty much it. You can use setting spray, you can do whatever you want to make sure that it comes out the exact way that you want it to. I feel like this is a pretty simple thing. It takes me a half hour, believe it or not, just because I like to take my time with the things that I do on my face. I like to make sure that it's exactly how I want it to be. So, and it's actually kind of relaxing once you get into it, because you pretty much know how the end product's gonna come out, and it's just kind of taking time for yourself. So I hope that this has helped. Actually, with how long this video is, it's gonna have to be a completely separate video. So this is an everyday look. And then the next one will be an everyday look, but it'll be more. It'll be full coverage. So that should be interesting to film. I still don't have an outro.